What a man thinks that he is, that is the old secret. The mind, it is said, is of two kinds, pure and impure. Impure from the contact with lust, pure free from lust. The mind alone is the cause of bondage and liberty for men. If attached to the world, it becomes bound. If free from the world, that is liberty. If a man's thoughts are not dissipated, if his mind is not perplexed, then there is no fear for him while he is watchful. Not a mother, not a father will do so much, nor any other relatives. A well-directed mind will do us greater service. Let the wise man guard his thoughts, for they are difficult to perceive, very artful, and they rush wherever they list. Thoughts well guarded bring happiness, as the champion warrior relies upon his armor's strength for victory. As also, right thought is like a cuirass, able to withstand the sixth sense robbers. Whosoever the restlessness and unsteady mind may wander away, let him withdraw it from there and will bring it under the control of self alone. He whose passions are quickened and mind perfectly tranquil, who has become one with the Brahman, the Supreme, being freed from all impurities, such as a yogi, comes supreme bliss. This constantly holding the mind steadfast, the yogi, whose sins are shaken off, easily attains infinite bliss, born of contact with Brahman. Nothing is more potent to mold human life than thought. It is the motor power which drives the machine of the body, mind, and senses. But its activity is not limited to the physical organism or the immediate surroundings. It extends to vaster regions, outstripping lightning in swiftness. All mortals intrinsically possess this power, though its external manifestation may vary from one individual to another. It is nevertheless equally latent in every living creature. The variations that exist arise from the differences in the development of the mind, its medium. According to the capacity of the medium, the inner power is manifested. As the sun appears in the varying strength when it shines through a clear or a clouded glass, so also the power of thought shines more effluently, eloquently through some minds than through others. The use or abuse of this force determines the destiny of men. When thought is properly controlled and directed, it lifts him ever higher and higher. When it is ill-directed and uncontrolled, it drags him down to the bars his growth. For verily, man is what he thinks. Our whole lives are nothing but external manifestations of our thoughts. Whatever this is, conscious or unconscious, it always a creative force, a seed which sooner or later will bear fruit as good or evil action. If our minds dwell on things which are trivial and unwholesome, we soon find that our whole nature is being colored by them. Similarly, when our minds are fixed on lofty ideas, Our nature in heavenly is uplifted, and transformed. All activity is preceded by thought. First we think, then we act. Therefore, it is impossible for anyone to refrain from mistakes or evil deeds without paying proper heed to his thoughts. Thought must be right for us to act wisely. Buddha says, if you remove from conduct the purpose of the mind, the bodily act as but like rotten wood. Wherefore, regulate the mind, and then the body will spontaneously go right. There are a few people who think consciously. An impulse comes, a desire awakens the heart. At once, the whole thought is carried away by it. It takes possession of the mind, as if man has sold himself to it. In the Gita we read, when a man's mind constantly dwells on sense objects, he begins to value them and becomes attached to them. From this attachment arises a desire to possess them, and if anything stands in his way, he grows angry. Through anger he loses all control and power of discernment, and thus works his own ruin. At first, the object and he stand as two separate entities, but through attachment and lack of discrimination, he becomes identified with it and naturally suffers from whatever effect it may produce. When, however, the mind is controlled and discriminative, one can avoid such dangers. Suppose someone speaks harshly to you. Can it really hurt you? No. It is you who give the importance to it through your own thought.